You read the title. I said that your sketchbook should be ugly. And I have a lot of sketchbooks here. These are ones from, I feel like maybe the earliest is like 2021. Actually, no, it looks like, yeah, okay, like 2021, early 2022 to my most recent thing. And you might notice sticky tabs. So, this is talking about how to actually use your sketchbook to get better at drawing, not just as a nice book to show off your cool artwork. Because I've noticed a lot of sketchbook images you see on, your Pinterest, Instagram, that sort of thing. They're basically finished artworks. They look nice. They might have elements of sketchiness, but they definitely aren't like you're practicing and stuff. So I wanted to, show you that if your sketchbook is ugly, it's okay. We're going to go through and look at some different exercises and stuff I've done that's actually been helpful in, getting better. In case you're stuck or anything. This one has no notes because this was basic, it's only 20 sheets. And, using Copic markers, they go through your pages, and basically this was just illustrations. So, goodbye, that one. These aren't in order, but I'll start with this one. We might zoom in, and let's start. So, we'll go to the first sticky note. So, this exercise, I did this for months, every day. So, it's from a book. I didn't bring the book with me. Wait, give me a sec. I went and grabbed the book. It's this book called The Complete Book of Drawing by this dude, Barrington Barber. I know nothing about this artist. I'm pretty sure, my pop bought this, for himself, and I just, got it at some point. But yeah, exercises where, you practice drawing different shapes, different lines. I spent a lot of time just drawing shapes, both 2D and 3D. Mostly 2D, I would say, from these exercises and stuff. But yeah, basically it was, you draw a dot. Oh my, sorry, that was, my phone's not in the most stable position. But I guess it had some action and drama to this. So yeah, are you gonna fall over again? No. So you draw a dot, a vertical line, a horizontal line, a diagonal line. I guess you could probably add maybe the opposite diagonal, but then you draw a circle, triangle, square, 5-pointed star, and the spiral. I did also at times, would do spirals the opposite way and stuff. But yeah, as you can see, this I did for ages, and then I would have pages of, say, just one shape. I'm talking A4 pages every day for several months to get good at just drawing shapes, because I guess lines are the very basic, but after that it's drawing 2D shapes, and I was going back to the very beginning because I was I don't know where exactly my skills are at, so I went to the beginning. Also drawing lots of cubes from different directions, because that's the basic form. And yeah, I feel like the rest of this was just a couple of things here and there, but lots of just practicing. Yeah. See, and now also practicing form. I feel like this one's big enough that I can zoom. I feel like I need to zoom in between those. So this is the full page spread of the 2 pages. So as you can see, I started with the exercises a little. Didn't do too many. I feel like this was pretty early. Wait, is this even the right page? This isn't even the right... Anyway, this is the wrong page that I marked. Oh no, I marked both. Okay. I just skipped the one before it. We'll come back to... So drawing some bodies and stuff. I feel like these little sketches, I don't know what exactly you'd call them, but these were really helpful. So drawing them tiny, that's my finger for reference. So I have a quite long pinky, but pinky length sort of thing. A lot of these are from Danganronpa, I think, because I just like Danganronpa, so I feel like that's probably where I got. Maybe not. Oh, that one looks like it might be Hajime's pose. I've drawn these a fair few times, so some of them I can just recognize because I've drawn too many times. This one up here, I know is Light Yagami. Yeah. So so you can doing them in different sizes, but these little ones are very good, especially if you're just beginning and struggling. Now this page is like doodling, just drawing stuff. If you're uninspired, just allow yourself to draw silly scribbles. I like to draw blobby little monsters. That's my go-to when I'm uninspired and just want to scribble. But I guess different people have different go-to scribbles. This is like designing characters, so like you've got ones that didn't quite work out, like I've got a scribble over the face, and just allow yourself to try different things even if they don't work. If you're designing characters, most of the time you'll have a lot of things that don't work. I find hair in particular tends to be what takes a while for me to get right. I don't know why. I feel like it's just an important part of like what the character looks like. And it's a way to make them distinguished, like silhouette and just who they are. Because like often you might draw things like eyes and faces relatively similar. And that's just a piece of paper to avoid smudging. Oh, okay, things like sticky notes of like what you need to work on. This exercise was helpful as well. So basically you start small and get bigger and bigger and adding sort of more details and blocks to it. I have a feeling this is Kaede from V3's thing. Or it could be a character thing, because I'm not sure exactly. Also just practicing perspective. I still need to work on my perspective, not gonna lie. See more doodles and stuff, because I feel like I was just uninspired and, just wasn't happening. So I just took a page and drew funny little, mostly circle-y things. I feel like I gravitate towards circles, but you'll have different things. Practicing for different heads, more perspective, and then with different 3D shapes. So got like stars, triangles, and cylinders and stuff. And then, some more 3D things like with shadows. I need to work on shadows, to be honest, and lighting. Because I tend to just go, yeah, I'll put a shadow where, like, the heart tells me to. Which probably isn't the most accurate. And then I got notes to do with, from a video I think, to do with on 2-point perspective. And then, like, things so practicing clusters of shapes is important as well, because, it's all good to be able to draw a box, but you got to be able to draw the box with other boxes, because chances are your artwork's going to have multiple objects. And yeah, as you can see, more line practice there. And then, this was just me going through, so if you're confused what the fundamentals of art are, here's what they are. You got the 7 principles and 7 elements. You got line, you got shape, space, form, texture, value, color, and then contrast, repetition, and pattern, emphasis, balance, movement, rhythm, unity. Now, chances are, if someone's telling you to practice your fundamentals, they're talking about form. So that's things like making stuff 3D, in perspective, all that kind of thing. Because most of us can draw shapes. It's translating those shapes to make them 3D. Form is just basically 3D shapes in art. That's usually it. It could be other things, like, I don't know specifically what you would be struggling with, but I find, especially if you're relatively early or, like, you've been drawing for a little bit, but, it doesn't look quite right, I would recommend form. If you haven't tried to practice form, that's probably where I would start. You can probably draw lines and shapes, okay? I mean, not that it wouldn't hurt to practice those things, but if, you're desperate to get results quickly, maybe form. Value might help, or color. Knowing color can also help, because color can help hide bad art. I've got some pages where, I've learned that pretty colors distract from lack of other skills. And then these principles are more like how you would apply it in a piece. I'm not the best person to explain it, because I'm not an art teacher. I know, shocking. Where am I putting the ones that I've looked through, just so I don't look through them twice? Now we'll do this one. This beautiful sketchbook. I'm not doing these in order. They do have dates and stuff, but I am lazy. And come on, it's funny to see, I guess, it not in order. So this was like a study page I did, where I found an artist on Instagram. I think they're called KP Knots or something. I'm surprised I don't have it written on the page who they are. But basically, I printed out the original, then I did the word recolor thing, and then I did it, opacity and just lined over it to get a feel for it. Then I did some practice. It was the eyes in particular is what I wanted to, get from it. So I did a couple of pages of eyes. And then I tried redrawing that sort of thing again with some mouths. So yeah, that was study. I feel like I've got another study somewhere else in here from a different artist where, yeah, that's where tracing, I feel like, comes in handy. My guide for tracing is just, like, trace over it to get the base. Or certain features you like. But, like, don't trace in final art, because that's usually considered cheating. This was, like, a thing I did of just, like, storyboarding, like, a mini comic. I feel like storyboarding stuff's helpful, like, just little panels. This was, like, a story where Klee and Scaramouche from, Genshin meet each other, because I thought it would be funny. Yeah, okay, so this is what I was talking about. So I was trying to draw handsome guys that don't look like either buff dudes like All Might and Yami from Black Clover, or look like 15-year-olds like every shonen protagonist. So I wanted to find something, to draw like a character that clearly looks like an adult, but like handsome. So this is from Moriarty the Patriot. I forget which Moriarty this is. I think it's Lewis. I think Lewis is the one with glasses. But I could be wrong. So yeah, I've got a few different ones, trying to work out different things. So yeah, that was something I did. I'm not sure how helpful it was. I feel like I want to maybe do some more studies of, like, just drawing pages from that for practice. I feel like it's possibly in Sketchbook. I don't know if I marked it, but I do have a Toilet Bound Hanako-kun page that I reproduced. I also had another one from Danganronpa, or Danganronpa manga. So I have done pages where I've just reproduced manga pages. These gesture drawings, I feel like I had a time limit of, like, these don't look like they took long. But yeah, I think I had, like, different images and drew them pretty quickly. They're really rough, actually. Oh, I'm back to drawing in pencil, because I know that for a while I was sketching in pen, because I saw some video that recommended doing that so that, you can't erase, except I'm pretty lazy with erasing, because I often lose my eraser, or I'm just too lazy to rub stuff out. I do when I'm drawing something, that I actually make a genuine mistake, or, like, a final thing, but yeah, if I'm just sketching, I tend to not. Oh, wow, I didn't mark anything else? Oh, I feel like a lot of these were sort of more illustrations and stuff. Okay. But yeah, just exercises of pages of, like, I feel like I've done different things where there's a site, I can't remember what it's called, but it, like, gives you rapid fire, reference images, and you can set how long they take to rotate and stuff. So, like, you can set them to, like, a minute to 10 minutes, that sort of thing. I'm not sure what it's called, though. That would have been helpful if I did. Let's go with this little red one, which I think was, like, the first one I'd bought, but I, like, did one illustration in it, because, I bought my special sketchbook. And then, like, yeah, I ripped it out, because I was like, yeah, okay, time to actually use it. Oh, okay, so, like, practicing of heads. So, yeah, when I first started with heads, just drawing stuff and not getting it. I feel like whatever tutorial this wasn't helpful. I think something that I watched that actually helped was, like, it was by Third PHP. I think it was a live stream. He was live streaming on Twitch one time. And he did, like, a quick demonstration of how to draw heads, like 3D heads, and I feel like it was really helpful, but naturally that's a bit difficult to find again, because it was, like, 5 minutes in a, couple hour live stream. So yeah, more exercises, as you can see. Oh yeah, also writing down, like, what shape and form are, because those were the things I felt like I needed to work on the most, and also then writing down what I wanted to steal and make, how I wanted to fix up my art and things. So yeah, writing notes is also helpful. If you want to, you might have a different place that you write notes. Like, I have a manga journal as well. I have a video on that if you want to check it out after this one. Self-promo, I know. But yeah, so I figured out which artists I like and what kind of elements I like to their art. So, like, the creator Death Note, specifically the stuff in Death Note, because his art does change a bit depending on the series, but, I liked the folds, I like the toilet bound Hanako, kind of like the eyes, the perspective and poses in the Promised Neverland. Like, I really like that fisheye effect that, just makes everything kind of creepy. And I like that this artist is really good at, like, crazy expressions, which makes sense given that they were basically given a manga to make of, like, Danganronpa from Nagito's perspective, and you kind of need to be good at drawing crazy if you're doing something with Nagito as the main focus. And then, more of these little drawings, like different gestures of, like, different amounts of what I'm focusing on. So these are, like, just basically the lines to get the feel of, I think it's a line of action or something like that. And then others with more blocky shapes, some with more round shapes, less and more. Just getting used to that. Oh yeah, see, I did a whole thing of, I think it's the line of action. Well, yeah, just drawing these, like, curvy lines and drawing the poses around them. And also mixing things up. So I was drawing, like, some things in texture, some things in pen, pencil. That's also good. I feel like all my textures have died. Like, I've got my markers, but Copics, like, mark style alcohol markers do bleed through more than a lot of other mediums. And if, say, you don't want to have to, like, leave pages blank, I mean, you can still draw on them, but I know I personally don't like to draw on the back of things. And also, you don't want to, draw with markers again and have it bleed through. So your textures and stuff can be good just to not have it bleed through all your sketchbooks and everywhere. I feel like the only thing I've had issues with, I mean, depending on how thin your paper is. Like, with sketchbooks, some of them are better than others for what bleeds through and stuff. I feel like I want to do this one. That has a cool cover I did. Like, I wanted to decorate it. And then I didn't have contact to protect it with, so we got cling wrap. I think that one's first. So, yeah, this has got, like, sketchbook goals, which I want to practice my skills, be less rigid in work on character designs, form, work on elements of art, have fun, draw more often. So, yeah, it can be a good idea to maybe just write down what you want to achieve. I think that one's next. Oh, yeah, this was something I did, based on, like, character silhouettes and stuff, so this page in particular, you may notice, is, like, the, like, splash out the Genshin characters and stuff, so I wanted to, see, like, how they use silhouettes and stuff. So, like, most of them, I feel like I can tell you who they are. So, what you've got, Raiden, Zhongli, Venti, Nahida. I feel like that's Kave. Not sure who this one is. Oh, no, I think that's Alhaitham. You got Yanfei. I think that's Child, Mona. The other page, I think I was just messing around. I think it was just this page that I actually started doing silhouettes of actual, like, characters and stuff. I do want to do this more. I kind of forgot I ever did that. Because I feel like it's a fun exercise. Because, like, silhouettes are important. Oh, I saw this thing, which, it was, like, I don't know who it's by. Maybe someone can tell me because I'll recognize the challenge. It's the, I can't think of the number. Wow. 2,500 drawing challenge. So you do 1,000 heads, 500 arms, 500 legs, 250 hands, 250 feet. I did not naturally get far through this, but I think it's like you give yourself 5 to 10 minutes on each thing. Spend 5 to 10 minutes per drawing, take regular breaks, and stretch your wrists, finger and wrist exercises. So yeah, I started doing stuff like that. I have a board on my Pinterest of specifically, like, face, like, portrait face references and stuff. And I think I also had one for hands. I should try and pick this up again, actually. Because as much as we like our anime faces and stuff, I feel like learning actual faces is helpful. Especially, as I've noticed, like, anime isn't great for knowing how to, do diverse characters of different ethnicities, so I feel like maybe practicing during say if you want to make a character who's, like, distinctly looks Asian or black or even white, studying and, like, drawing realistic versions to then figure out how to, translate that and keep some of their real features in that anime style. I'm blabbing. But yeah, those were some things I did. Apparently, okay, so it looks like I was doing 10 minutes for faces, 5 minutes for hands. And then, this is a fun exercise I did. So, I feel like I saw this somewhere on, like, Pinterest. But basically, this is a scene from Arcane, and, like, every time the image shifted to something new, I would, like, draw it out in, like, a little storyboard of the scene. So I think this is the scene where, Vi and, like, Jinx reunite and stuff. Oh, yeah, guess this could... I don't think this counts as a spoiler. Like, my pictures are pretty rough. I feel like you're not going to necessarily automatically know what's going on. This is only, like, 36 seconds. Wow, that's a lot of stuff that, like, happens for such a short little time. Because what, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15 images for, like, 30 seconds. And, like, they're pictures of, like, distinct changes of, camera or, like, something new happening. That's a lot. This was, like, some drawing exercises anyone can do. So, like, contour drawing, blind contour, gesture, scribble, loops, doodle, shapes, and forms. So, yeah, these are, like, some continuous drawings. And blind contour, which I think was where you looked at the object and didn't look at what you were drawing, which is why it looks so wonky. I wonder if anyone's actually particularly good at that. I feel like that it takes so much practice to be able to just look at it and, like not take your eyes off what you're drawing. I'm definitely not doing something like that. This was, like, oh no, that was an old bookmark. But yeah, I had, like, there was, like, a draw like a sir tutorial of learn how to draw from, like, 0 to 100, so it had all the different things that in order. And then I had my plan for how I was going to upgrade my art, so what I was going to do each day. I definitely did not end up doing most of this. It was quite ambitious and didn't follow through very well. This is also some other stuff, like, just practice with new mediums. Even if you don't plan to, stick with it, just have fun. Like, do that in your sketchbook, I didn't own watercolors at the time. I do now. But I wanted to do watercolor, so I went and basically added food coloring to water. It definitely is very different to using watercolor. Also, I didn't own any brushes, so I had to improvise that as well. But yes, I've got, like, cutouts and stuff. This was, like, oh yeah, I put yarn to an end of a pencil. I had, like, scrunched up paper towel to try and paint with. Don't do this! I wouldn't recommend, if you want to do watercolor, just buy a cheap watercolor palette. Like, you can get one for, like, $10, maybe $20, depending on where you live and stuff. But I'm just putting this in because, it's good to still experiment, but I would definitely not necessarily recommend as an alternative to watercolor, this stuff. You can do it for fun, but there's a reason why it's not a professional medium. I mean, you could maybe make it work if you're super committed for some reason. I don't know why you would specifically be committed to wanting to be, like, I don't know, the world's only food coloring watercolor artist. But hey, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. So this was another thing, like, where you do for your character design, like, the different head positions and stuff. I haven't done this for ages, but I thought it was important as, a potential exercise. Also, just practicing heads from different positions. I'm still not great at, side portraits. There is a tutorial that I don't know what it is specifically, but I do remember that's, like, basically what I reference every time. But I think I want to get better at side portraits. I mean, I want to get better at everything, but that's something specifically I know I need to work on. But yeah, as you can also see, I've used a lot of different type of sketchbooks, different sizes, different paper, basically just what I could get. There's no specific rhyme or reason to them. I'd just buy what I could. This was something I did where I'd gotten new Copic markers set, and I struggle with skin tones, like getting the right colors to, match a character, especially because a lot of characters in anime are very light-skinned and pale, and markers tend to be quite bright and vibrant. So yeah, I tried to do a thing like where I basically got all the browns and pinks and stuff, like the skin tony pinks, not your bright fuchsia-y pinks. And then I think I picked, some colors and tried to do some practice. This is just a fun thing to do if you're struggling. This is sticky notes. I got pink sticky notes, got some couple of textures and pens, scribbled and just stuck them everywhere. This is very messy. Your hands will get a mess, but I also did it on this side, and then did some little sketches and drawings. I did do a yellow one here, but I don't like this one as much. But yeah, there's some, your sketchbook, can have fun stuff in it. I do recommend, if you're struggling with studying and stuff, do it in conjunction with other art. You get artists that are or more teachers than actual artists. They'll be wow, I feel like I just insulted teachers calling them not artists. I mean, people specifically as teachers tend to go, oh, you should not draw in an anime style because, gotta practice this and that. You can do both. You don't have to ditch one to do the other, and I feel like that's something that, turns people off, because, they want to draw what they want to draw. If you love anime and stuff, that's what you want to be drawing. Practicing your fundamentals and stuff will help that look better, but you don't have to stop drawing that. You can, draw some, not even hyper-realistic, just semi-realistic proportions and faces and stuff, and then you can also draw your cartoony anime stuff that you want to draw. You can do both. I usually would recommend, say, starting with your exercises and stuff, because it'll warm you up. Yeah. Oh, see these 60-second sketches? See, this one I told myself and actually noted down how long I took. Did I only do... Okay, I think I did a few pages of them. These ones were 5 minutes. Yeah, because I'm they look suddenly so much more detailed. I wouldn't have just suddenly been able to go from, barely drawing anything to... That baby is terrifying. And then just a page of random things. I feel like these were mostly from Pinterest, the cabbage frog. And also more goals and stuff, It's good to keep in mind what you want to be drawing. It's just a random angel dust sketch. That's super random. I've got these pen, little scribbles, and I just got in the corner, as you do. We're getting through them. But I hope that this is giving some inspiration and stuff. My wrist hurts from flicking these books. This is an exercise I did. It's based on something I used to do in art class, where you would fold your piece of paper in 4, and you'd pass it along. So you would start with the head, you'd fold it over, you get someone else's, you didn't look at it, they just had a little marking to indicate, say, where the neck finished, then you draw this part and so forth. And then you'd get back yours that would have, your head with everyone else's body and stuff. I would like to see what it looks like with, not, 12-year-olds, people that are actually good at drawing. But that's part of why I say I wanted to simulate that sense of, complete randomness, looking like that from different drawings. I did all 4 of them, knowing full well what the one above it was, but I kind of tried to, use different aesthetics and color palettes. And also, you can flip it. It's changed, so this one's meant to look like it's part with that. That was meant to look like it was part with that one, but it doesn't really match. So yeah, got some different things. I would say they need work with the lengths and stuff, and I just forgot to do the arms. So yeah, we can mix and match. So yeah, that's a fun thing to do. I feel like it'd be cool to make an entire sketchbook where you just have all these different things you can flick between to make different characters. But I didn't do that because this was just a fun one-day exercise I did. but I haven't really seen much about it. So if you want to try something like that, could be a good way to do, I don't know, character designs if you want to test out different elements. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best method, but it could be fun. Or maybe if you have different characters, drawing them up so you can see what they look like with each other's parts. This is my attempt to make typical aesthetic looking pages. And basically it just relies on colors. So you get like, I had another one. Get like 2 colors that you know work together. I usually like, I think it's analogous as the ones where they're next to each other. But I'm not confident on that. But basically, like, get your color wheel, you know, pick colors that look nice. I tend to find colors that are next to each other look nice. So, like, blue and purple. Bam. And then I divided it up kind of like a manga page, like with different panels. And just got different things, you know. Started drawing with different textures. And, yeah, like, the artworks themselves aren't that great. But the pretty colors distracts from that. Like this one, I've got a moth. I feel like I like the other one more. And then this one, I just was getting, I think it was all on the same day, and I was just getting sick of it by then. Yeah. But I got some paper and, like, some, I don't know what they're called. They're, like, in scrapbooking. They're just, like, pieces of cardboard with designs on them. And this is something similar, I guess. But this is, like, where you take a character and draw, you know, some stuff to do with them, and like I did a little chibi one to the face, do some different poses, practice different aspects of them, like some of the accessories and stuff, maybe a big eye. That can be a fun exercise with your character, you know, I guess kind of like a mood board, like to get the vibe. And most of the later pages are things that I've done for like manga and stuff, so not a lot to say about them. In this video, at least. Dum dum dum. Now, for this next sketchbook, I will preface that it was going to be all about form and stuff, but you know, mental health. Some of the pages, especially in like basically the first half of the sketchbook, I have DID, and this was around the time that one of them first started fronting. They weren't particularly happy, and they wanted to, you know, assert their dominance and stuff. So they graffitied over it, so just be warned, some of it's a bit graphic. Of course, my brother decides to have a shower right in the middle of filming. But yeah, so there'll be some potentially, you know, not nice language and stuff. Hopefully, it's not too bad, but I thought I should warn, and provide a bit of an explanation. But yeah, I'm currently in the process of getting diagnosed with it, but yeah. So yeah, they did it all in like big red things. So the first thing I did was, because this is all about form, I wrote a definition of form in art. And because this was going to be, you know, I do plan to go back and still create like 7 sketchbooks all dedicated to, you know, form, shape, color. I'm gonna pretend I know the rest off the top of my head. So yeah, like, and then tips. That's stuck in, not just flappy. And yeah, practicing different things. And then this is like more fundamental stuff, like so more information. But yeah, as you can tell, lots of scribbled over it. Yeah, I was doing like different practices of form related stuff. It's like still life, lots of cubes. Ironically, them graffitiing it makes like this like more artistic and stuff, so I kind of find that funny, you know. Find the glass, wow. I feel like I was trying to say 2 different sayings at once, but like glass half full to the situation. And, oh yeah, this was like where I had a little sketch of like rough idea of the pose, a little sticky note over it. And then, this is my most recent sketchbook, which has got random Genshin stickers on it. Most of these are like manga stuff. So yeah, I'll usually have my on one page and then little sketch. This one was, I didn't end up finishing, but I did, you know, little things over it. I do plan to come back and fix that. There was something in particular. So lately I've kind of been hating my art. So, you know, going back to drawing some of these poses and stuff. I drew random things I could think of that are like still life. So I did jars, I did bottles, I did jugs, teapot, mug, bowl. Found some images of still life on Pinterest, you know, where we all go for inspiration. I kind of like the capsicum. Oh, for those that aren't Australian, capsicum is a bell pepper, okay? We call them capsicums here. I just, like, took me a second to realize that not everyone calls them capsicums. I drew a croissant, you know, some more poses and stuff. Oh, this is like a printout, because I went and bought Monitor Comics. He's got some, like, cool layouts from different manga and stuff. I now have, like, 500 to copy from, because I bought all 5 packs, because it's like, yes, I need them all! Because it's, like, got Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, I think it's Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, One Piece, Chainsaw Man, and Bleach were the options, and I was like, I'll take them all, even though half of those I haven't even read. There are more things, like some stuff, and then this was a video that recently come out by Marie Noelle Worm, called The Power of Ugly Art, and etc. And so, like, the first page, this exercise actually kind of inspired this, but this first page was basically just go wild, scribble, you know, use colors that pop out to you or that, you know, are kind of ugly. So I don't usually use, like, olive green much. It's not my thing. Or this, like, mustard color. And, like, I think they're, like, pastels. But I don't use them much because, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. So, you know, I did, like, a scribble, and it kind of looks like lightning. But yeah, scribbled all over it. And then this next exercise, which was the second part of the video, was, like, I will link them in the description so you can go and enjoy, and, like, because they go through it with you and the process helps, but, you know, like, you had to write different expectations, and then you drew it out, and, yeah, I feel like ugly. And then after that, I just went and did some, this is my most recent stuff, I don't have anything else after this, but just did some ugly stuff, so I just got some random stuff, cut it out, and then scribbled over it, just did some scribbly faces. I also discovered that with the charcoals, like, if you, like, position it, you can go, like, they're not charcoals, they're pastels, sorry. And you can just go make these cool circles. I do also kind of want to see what they look like as an effect for manga and stuff, like when you do them on the side, like this effect. Because I feel like that could be cool as a, like, background or something. I wouldn't necessarily expect to use it in my common work, but I do want to, maybe today, for the one I worked on today, I do want to try and incorporate that. But yeah, I hope you got some inspiration from all this. You can see that my sketchbooks are definitely far from perfect, and I have tried several times where I'll be like, this sketchbook will be my pretty Instagram, Pinterest-worthy sketchbook. And then I will, like, stuff up the first or second page. It happens every time I have tried. Like, I think this one, I stuffed up the first illustration. Like, I hate this. There was another one where, I think it's this one. No, it's the other one of this size. This one. Yeah, I was like, cool. Bam, nice illustration. And then I stuffed up, like, 3 pages in. I was like, I hate this. So yeah, you're gonna make mistakes and stuff. If you want a nice, pretty sketchbook, I would recommend having another sketchbook that you practice and get stuff in. And basically, just have it like what you do for your formal, like, illustrations and stuff. Like, you can make it still look like a sketchbook, you know, to have that pretty aesthetic thing, but from what I found, you're not gonna have a, you know, beautiful aesthetic sketchbook. Unless, I don't know, maybe it's a skill issue. That is entirely possible as well. But I feel like this is more helpful to get an idea of what you can actually use your sketchbook for to get good. Because most sketchbook videos, you know, are of people that are probably not going to show you their garbage. Because no one wants to show off this. Like, you don't want people seeing this because it's ugly. Like, I've got a page of spirals, like a kid can draw that. I've got a page of, like, wonky faces and bodies because I don't know what I'm doing. That's gross. I don't want that on the internet. Like, okay, that's a bad example, but, like, this is boring. No one wants to see me in my boxes. So, like, these kind of things, you know, you don't see artists, and a lot of artists, you know, that you're probably following are already good. So I feel like this is probably a good video if you're feeling stuck or just want some ideas of just make some ugly stuff. You know, like, what is this? What are these poses? I clearly have not figured out what I'm doing at this point. And, like, you know, I'm testing things out, but I'm just allowing myself to, you know, like, these faces are wonky. Like this! We'll zoom in to show extra emphasis. Like, oh wow, that didn't zoom out in where I thought. Like, what is this wonky face? It's so flat. Heads don't look like that. There's a reason why I scribbled over it. Because even at the time I drew it, I was like, what have I drawn? But you need to make the garbage to make the pretty stuff. And I hope that all these things that I've show you that your sketchbook will look garbage. It will be disgusting. There will be stuff that you want to burn and set on fire and never show to the world. But, you know, you're not going to do that unless you want to. But, like, you know, otherwise you can't go back and look nostalgically like, I am so much better. I can now judge this artist that is me from the past like they're a noob because I am now an art god. I'm saying hypothetically, like, when you guys get good. I am not an art god at all, as you can see from the definite examples of my dodgy art, even more recently. I mean, most of this stuff is, like, within the last couple of years, so still getting there and stuff. You know, still learning, still got a lot to go, but I hope me showing and sacrificing my dodgy stuff helps you guys to feel a bit better, you know, get inspired. Thank you so much for watching this far. I know this is long. I did not expect this to go this long, but I am a pro yapper. Hence why I'm on YouTube. I mean, duh. So, please let me know if you've got any recommendations, maybe some exercises for sketchbooks, what you guys find helps you. Because, you know, I'm willing to learn and, you know, I kind of hate my art at the moment. So if you guys have got some tips for me, or for each other, because, you know, if someone else looks through the comments, it doesn't just help me, it can help all of us. We can build a cool community and be friends, because we all like art and anime, and yeah. I think I already said thank you, but thank you again, and I'm going to shut up now, and you are going to go draw, unless it's too late, or you don't want to.